Hi, my name is Bren Rizzino. Today, I wanted to actually talk about the five critical mindset you want to have to achieve success. Because the mindset is very important because you're going to encounter a lot of disappointment, discouragement, a lot of obstacles. And if you don't have a right mindset, you might hit the walls many times or sometimes like a significant walls that you get discouraged and then quit. And the problem is if you quit, and sometimes it's necessary to quit, like if what you're doing is actually wrong. But if what you're doing is actually still right, you're going to the right direction, and if you just quit, you're not going to achieve anything. So it's like when knowing when to actually quit and then when not to quit, and especially when not to quit, how are you gonna have a right kind of mindset to go through the obstacles and achieve where you want to be at. And then it might take a couple months, it might take a year, it might take years, but then this type of journey, you got to have a right type of mind. This is a long-term process. So let's start from the first thing, uh, having the right kind of mindset. So let's talk about the first one. First one would be that having the idea that the learning is the most important thing for your success, the daily learning. Because if you learn every single day, right, and then the more you get smarter, your brains get sharper, you get more intelligent, you can think more clearly, and then with more expansion way, which means like a different aspects of the fields, then you can actually incorporate and then have a creative solution that is with strength. And then if you actually have that smart mind, actually whatever you do, okay, will help. Even if you play guitar, music, sports, whatever you do, if you have a smarter mind, actually you can strategize better, not just in the game, but most importantly, you can better prepare, better strategize doing the training, and then how to maneuver and then negotiate with other people and so on. There is always tremendous uh, benefit to having a smarter mind. So what I want you to do is top three priorities in your daily life. One of the top three should be always to invest in yourself. Means it's like a learning. Keep learning something new. Reading books, working on the math, which is pretty critical. The more you actually advanced, the probabilistic thinking, especially, in terms of like using probability and figure out the odds and things of the nature. Or you can actually learn to learn to actually read, almost like read to understand. And also psychology is important because you will you will have to deal with people, and then you have to actually know yourself, how your mind get, for instance, tricked, having a biases. And emotionally, humans are very susceptible. Facts itself just doesn't quite matter if your emotion involves, your perception of the facts, let's say, would be more significant than fact itself, and that you can utilize that to yourself or others to actually find the best solution to the problems when you go outside the world, or when you're in school, or wherever else. So it's critical to actually learn some of the psychology. And another thing is, since you're going to involve a lot to do with money issue. It is a means to a lot of different type of activities, and so it's critical that you actually learn about finance and accountings and so forth. So make sure that you keep learning whatever you can, but with some sort of purpose and goal. Don't just kind of randomly scouting around. You should know, if you're honest to yourself, you should know what you need to advance your life. So be curious and then just keep observing. Put a couple of hours at least daily to learn. For instance, like Warren Buffett reads 5 hours a day. Okay, so that's a lot of learning. So make sure that you do as much as you can besides school, besides work, and yeah. So it is critical that you train your brain consistently, and then don't stop. Okay, education doesn't stop after you graduate from college or university. It doesn't make any sense. The real education is continuous till pretty much you die. Okay, as long if you're not growing, then human mind is gonna decay, and you don't want to decay your brain. You're gonna keep going up. So just keep learning here. Now, second thing, I want you to be very mindful of the time, importance of time. When you're a kid, it seems like the time is pretty much eternal. Like it goes slowly, but time is something that you cannot never replace. So it is so important that you treat time with reverence almost. And it's everybody has 24 hours a day. How you spend your time determines the course of your future. That's how important it is. Some people just keep wasting, not doing things right, or just being lazy, or just have some kind of problems, and not using the time effectively, not prioritizing things, and then doing something wasteful. And then other people who use their time wisely go advanced and advanced in life, and then who waits for just stay stagnant. So I'm trying to here help you to manage your time, how to spend the best way possible. So yeah, time in the future, you will notice that the time you cannot replace, and it's far more important than money. And then don't waste your youth. Like every day we're gonna just grow older, and then the one day you're younger, right? That day is extremely important. And then day by day, do not waste. Every single day. There is a saying, you prepare as if you live forever, but then you live as if you die tomorrow. It is to think in the long term, but at the same time, you live today fully. And then if you think today, if when you go to bed, if you die, if you think you're going to regret, means like you're not doing what you're supposed to do or you want to do, then you got to start changing. You got to spend your time more meaningfully. Okay. Now, another thing that's important is to have a right kind of expectation. Okay, when you attain something, you're not going to attain anything with direct straight line. Okay, it's not like no job or nothing meaningful will go from straight A to B. Okay, and you will encounter left turn, right turn, you have to, and then you hit the wall, so you got to kind of turn around and all that. You got to do all kind of maneuvers. And a lot of times people thinks, oh, why this doesn't go this way, and they just keep doing the same thing. Okay, I just have to do it like really uh, work harder, right? But that doesn't quite work that way, right? You got to work smarter, right? So a lot of people get frustrated and quit because they do the same thing pretty much. Like fundamentally, like they maybe tweak here and there, depends on the daily circumstance, but then they're pretty much doing the same thing. But then, as Einstein says, the definition of insanity is just keep repeating the same thing and expect it the different result. It's not going to happen, right? So if you hit the wall, or like if you want to go A to B, okay, so your idea, your current self, and then you want to get to certain kind of goal, devise in a certain way that think about all these factors that involved, okay, and then get each one at a time. Okay, you got to go left and you got to go right, and then go round. Okay, and then even if everything planned well and then so on, nothing's gonna just go according to your plan. Okay, sometimes things go well, and then you hit going down, and then you go up, and then sometimes you go really down. But then don't get flustered when you get like really low, and then even when it's get really good, don't get too emotionally euphoric. This is a bad mental state in either case, because those strong emotion cloud your judgment, and you always need have a good judgment every single day. So make sure that as long as your path is going upwards, up and down, that is good enough. Or it's not even good enough. Actually, it's the best. That's how it should be. And you will notice in a certain time, your skills and your knowledge becomes exceedingly, I would say, like confident. Means like you know what you're doing. Then at that point of time, it might take actually a couple of years, or even some people takes a decade. But you know that when you're doing it right, you know that you're growing, your level of skills increasing, and your satisfaction and meaning in life. Like a lot of things start coming together. Some people might not notice about this because that's your life, but right? You know that you're improving. You know that you're making a result in some sense. You're getting some kind of feedback from other people. This is important. You don't want to just think that you're great and then you're actually not, but then always interface. And if you can do it, then that's the important thing. So just don't expect that the life is going to go straight. And always think about this. And in the similar concept, the number 4 is like adaptability. You really have to adapt. Okay, condition changes. Even though one way works, like in a few weeks, after a few weeks it might not work. That doesn't mean you become suck, right? It's just that circumstance changes. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do the same thing and then your result goes down? No, right? You really have to change your method too. So your result should be like even if you become successful or you fail, it doesn't really actually that it really doesn't matter. Actually, when you fail, actually you learn more. So that's actually even better, right? So each case, don't get emotionally really attached to the results too much. Like a journey is what's important. So when you encounter each result, learn something, and if you make mistakes, adjust. If you're successful, make sure that you condition, you understand why you're successful, and then see if you can do better actually. And then the next time that your condition will be slightly different. and then just imagine what you can do in a different circumstance. So create more options actually. So it's so important whenever you do certain things, right? Don't put yourself into a one option because that doesn't give you adaptability. Just think of a couple of options. Okay, if it doesn't work, if A doesn't work, I have a B, C plan. And then if B, C plan doesn't work, I have a D, E plan. And you see how it goes. Okay, and then if you get flustered, sometimes just take a break and to see a whole thing from the objective point of view. See if you're not involved in a lot of times you can see somebody else's project a lot easier to judge, right? Because you're not emotionally attached. So actually your thinking is clear. So if you get like confused, having a hard time adapting or finding a solution, just sit back, relax, take a break, and see if you can find something. And sometimes your brain might not be able to figure things out. Then start doing that. Okay, what you can, something you can actually improve on towards a solution. Do something, and in the meantime, you might be able to find some sort of like kind of enlightenment per se, like mini enlightenment, and then just kind of keep going. Okay. Bruce Lee said once he, encouraged for people to become like a water, right? It's the same concept. Becoming water means just be adaptable. Okay, nothing's gonna last forever. So technology changes, whatever changes, you always keep adapting. Extremely important. Now, lastly, number 5, have a accurate thinking. What I mean by that is you really have to judge everything as they are, not what you would like to be or what should be, as they are. So you can actually see things as they are. This is actually quite difficult. Some people get too self-critical, and some people get too self-congratulatory, right? Either one is not good. You have to be self-critical because you have to know what went wrong. But at the same time, if you do it too hard, then you get discouraged. You're not going to do anything. That's just a bad attitude. And the positivity is crucial, right? If you're not positive about life, why are you even doing this? It doesn't make any sense. So you got to be positive. But excessive positivity is actually not great because you overlook all these flaws that actually that makes you places to improve upon. So just tame excessive positivity, but then whenever you do something good, right? Let's say you accomplish something, just give yourself some reward, or just pat on your back. Okay, I did it really good. Okay, feel good about it. Just don't do excessively. And as you manage these kind of expectations, your feelings, and then if you can start seeing the reality as they are, the great things happening is a lot of people in this world are putting up the facade, right? Okay, what you see is generally not what they are. But then the more you get used to seeing the world accurately, you can actually start able to see this is not good. Okay, this sounds great, but this is too good to be true. You will develop this kind of intuitions. Okay, but then you have to look carefully, and then you got to dig deeper. But these are very critical skills because if you get caught up in a lot of times like this, for instance, mass mania, right? Like, or like euphoria of like everybody's doing it, so I'm doing, I will do because everybody else is doing it, or somewhere along like this kind of thought process. If you keep influenced by this type of shallow kind of like a commercial impact, right? Like when you see the ads and oh, like nice guys, good looking people selling things and you buy and whatnot, or things are popular. That's why you're gonna think this gonna work. Okay, that type of like shallow thinking. With the accurate thinking, you can actually see through if that's actually have a root on in the ground that you can actually grab, or you notice that this is just dangerous temporary things, and avoiding those traps are critical when it gets to become successful, because once the more you avoid those, and then this is actually a lot easier said than done. It's just so difficult for people to not get into this type of things, and you likely get caught up in one of those. But then you'll have all these tools so that then your damage is not going to be as bad as a lot of other people. Okay, and then more, and what it does is it actually saves time. You might actually save a few years of your lifetime, right? And a few years are quite a lot. And then especially if you don't repeat that many times, some people actually repeat this kind of bad behavior, bad things that they do for just the sake of the impulsive behavior, or instant gratification, or easy way out, or cutting corners. They actually losing years of time. And then once it gets to a certain level, a lot of people cannot recover. So, but then if you avoid it, if you do the right ways to go about it, I'm sure you're gonna be fine. So and I will share with you this type of stories or ideas with you. So if you have any comment that you can share with others, please write it down so people can learn from it. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.